Welcome to the journey. Today we're going to talk about how to buy and sell domains with a domain broker. Buying and selling domains can be complicated. It can be confusing. It can be a nerve-wracking process, especially if you're someone who doesn't like negotiating. And even with the rise of domain marketplaces and domain research tools, you're still going to run into little technical hurdles and inefficiencies.
A good domain broker can help you navigate these obstacles and make buying or selling a domain name easier. Wondering if domain name broker is a good fit for you? Let's just get into it. First off, there are two types of domain brokers. A domain seller broker works for the domain owner, and their goal is to sell that owner's domain name or names for the highest possible price. A seller broker focuses on trying to find buyers for the domain and then convincing those potential buyers to buy the domain at or above the target price set by the seller in consultation with the broker. Typically, a seller broker is compensated by the seller and not the buyer.
Now, a buyer broker works for the buyer of a domain name. In this context, a buyer broker's role is to, first off, try to get a desired domain name, and then second, get it within whatever the buyer's designated budget and time frame is. And a buyer broker is usually compensated by the buyer and not the owner or the seller of the domain name.
And now both types of domain brokers will set a budget. So brokers help clients establish a realistic budget for the purchase of or sale of a domain name. Because domain brokers have access to both public and private historical sales data, they know what types of domain inventory is moving right now and what it's selling for.
And the domain broker will stay neutral. It's not unusual for emotions to run high between a buyer and a seller, particularly if the two don't, see eye to eye. A broker helps eliminate the risk of those emotions interfering with or even jeopardizing a potential deal.
They'll also track down domain owners and buyers. So a skilled domain broker is also a really good detective. They need to be in order to track down either the mystery owner of a domain name or the perfect, most ideal potential buyer.
And a domain broker will also oversee the monetary transaction. So they'll make sure that the transaction is run through the proper channels, that it was completed successfully. And this could include papering the deal via formal purchase or a sale agreement, as well as consummating the transaction through a domain escrow service.
And lastly, they'll facilitate the domain transfer. A good domain broker will be very familiar with the different mechanisms and processes required to move a domain from the buyer to the seller. Not only can they oversee that process, but they can also accelerate the speed of that transfer happening while making sure it's being done in the safest and most secure manner possible.
Now, you might be wondering, how will I find and qualify a reputable domain broker? Let's go through some things that you should look for when you're actually evaluating potential brokers, starting with their track record, right? How long have they been brokering domain names? Do they have testimonials from clients there? Ooh, that's my favorite, good old word of mouth. And a quick Google search should tell you all you need to know.
And then, how are their negotiation skills? Ultimately, you're looking for somebody who will be effective at representing your business interests in a deal, and who is good at understanding the person they're trying to convince to either buy or sell your domain name. The more experience the broker has in negotiation or sales, or both, the better. And then you're going to want to make sure that they're well connected. A quick look at their LinkedIn profile can be helpful, especially for seller brokers. You want someone with a vast multi-industry set of contacts because they'll need to work with those connections to find the ideal buyer for your domain name.
And I'd definitely assess their research skills. Ask them how they track down potential buyers or how they track down domain name owners. And you want a broker who can think outside the box and is adept at finding both buyers and existing owners.
And then, are they persistent? Ask the broker how long and hard they will work on the project. Are they going to try just for a couple of days and then give up? Or are they in this for the long haul?
And let's not skip over that personality fit. You may be working with this person for weeks. It may be months. So you need to make sure you and potential buyers or sellers get along with them.
You certainly don't have to work with a domain broker. It's not mandatory. You could, in theory, go the do-it-yourself route and attempt to buy or sell a domain name on your own. But if you're not great at research, don't like rejection, or are uncomfortable with negotiation, or maybe you lose your cool quickly, then you should seriously consider hiring a domain name broker.
All right, that's a wrap. You just learned how to buy and sell domains with a domain broker. But hey, the journey doesn't have to end here. We have over 200 videos for you to watch.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But thanks for watching. This is The Journey.